Good morning besties, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tash if you're new here. This week we are going to be doing a week of reading books selected by a colour wheel. I have found a little website online, purely just the first thing I found on Google when I searched a colour wheel generator picker. I did select the first book this morning, so I will be introducing that to you now. I will show you guys the little generator that I've got. Just select the spin button, and the first one that it did select this morning was the color pink, and I think that that is just the perfect start to the video because pink is one of my favorite colors and I have quite a few pink books, but I did end up selecting my first book from my monthly TBR because I have not read one single book from that list, and I need to make sure that I finish them this month. Because my partner, if you haven't already watched the video, I will link it above, he has given me a little task to try and finish my entire TBR this month so I can go on a book shopping spree. It needs to be done. I have to read every single book, so most of these books that I will be selecting for this video will be from my little TBR, if I get the correct colour. As I'm sure you've seen on the screen, my first book is Foul Lady Fortune by Chloe Gong. I have started the audiobook of this and I will probably be finishing this book with the audiobook. I am at chapter 7. Almost at chapter 8. I'm literally maybe 2 pages off, so I would say I'm at chapter 76 at the moment, which is only just getting through maybe the first fifth of the book. I think this is over 500 pages. Yeah, we're going into 510 pages for this book. It doesn't seem like it. It is quite a skinny book compared to my other bigger books, so at least are you okay, my baby? I almost destroyed the pages inside. They're okay. The only thing that I knew about this book before starting it was that this was a book about an assassin, and that was because my partner really wanted me to read this book. Assassin just stood out to him, and I also love assassins. A lot of my favorite fantasy series have assassins in them. Yeah, I was very intrigued to be reading this. Plus, I do enjoy this cover so much, and I have heard some incredible things about this particular duet that she has. I've not read any of Chloe Gong's books previously, so this is a new author to me. I have heard that this is her best series so far out of all the books that she's written, and it is living up to that as well. So I'm very excited to continue this. So yeah, I'll probably check in with you guys maybe when I'm halfway through and let you know any updates. Besties, it is the next day. It is Tuesday. I've now made it quite far into Foul Lady Fortune. It's 354 pages now. I didn't really give you guys like an introduction to this book fully yesterday, so I thought I'd just give you guys a bit of a rundown about what this book is about. Rosalind is our main character. This is like a historical fantasy romance, and it's set in 1931 in Shanghai. Rosalind is born in France, I believe, and she's like lived and traveled the world because she's actually almost immortal. This chemical that people had been going around and injecting into everyone, and that chemical that had entered her body now basically allows her to never sleep, so she's always got time. She's not able to get hurt, so if she's ever in a fight she will heal quite quickly, so she's not able to die, and she also doesn't age, so she's basically living in her 19-year-old body. I can't remember the age of her. She's basically in the same body since she's had the injection in her, but with that, unfortunately, people don't trust her. They want to obviously take her and you know what. Right now in 1931, with her being in Shanghai, there is a bit of a war going on between the Japanese and the Chinese, and she is currently an assassin for a team of spies. And part of her spy group, she has like multiple different teammates and double agents, triple agents. There's lots of people who we don't know whether we can trust within her little team, and we're basically going along with like all these little missions that she keeps getting handed out by her supervisors. She obviously has to keep her identity a secret this entire time, because if people find out, then they will start to target her. At the start of the book, she is then put on a mission where she is required to be married to infiltrate this secret society, and in order to do that, being married is the best way to get in. She'll seem like she's just an everyday wife, and then she can identify the culprits of the series of murders that are going around in Shanghai at the moment, which they do believe is related to the Japanese. Yeah, this is where you meet the other main character, Orion, and he is a British male main character. Yeah, so far we've just been going on adventures with them. It is a high mystery fantasy romance, so we have no idea what's going on. I feel like the first 100 pages of this has been like a whirlwind of things happening. Now I'm just like, left, right, and center, things just keep coming at the female main character and the male main character. Now that I'm like a little bit more into it and I'm a bit more understanding of who the characters are, who all the agents are, and, you know, trying to figure out which agents we can and can't trust. Obviously still don't know which ones we can and can't. It's the entire time I'm literally on the edge of my seat, like, no, don't like you, no, don't like you, no, that seems a bit sus. Like, it is very fun and fast paced in that sense, and I'm really, really enjoying it. The only thing is I think I'm enjoying this more listening to the audiobook, and the reason being is because I don't know if this would have picked up the same way if I was reading it physically, because I'm being, obviously, like with the audiobook, it's like forcefully given to you, because there are times where I have zoned out a couple times, but then like a chapter later I'm like pulled back in again. I don't know what that is. Like I really don't understand if that's maybe more of a me thing or if it's the book. I don't know if other people have had this experience, but there are times, yeah, where I'm like maybe 4 or 5 chapters of just intense action happening, and then it goes into something very mundane, and then I like focus out. And sometimes even during the action scenes, like if it goes on for too many chapters, I do zone out in some parts, but I'll always end up coming back, and then I'm like hooked again because something intense has happened. Yeah, I've only got probably just over 150 pages to go, so about 3 hours left of my audiobook, maybe 3.5 hours. So I will check in with you by the end of today once I finish this, and then we'll go on and choose the second book. I don't know what star rating I'm going to give it. It is feeling more of like a 4-star read, but who knows, the ending could change it. What just happened? There were so many plot twists. I did not expect half of them. Really, really well done. Like, what a fun ride that was. Like, I am so shocked at how much I enjoyed the last half of this. It just really like took it home. I don't know if my rating will change. I'm gonna try and think on it a bit more, but I am excited now to choose the second book. So I'm just bringing it up now. We did have pink last time, obviously, for Foul Lady Fortune. Really want to read something off my TBR, but I do have a lot of fantasy books on my TBR, and right now I'm not in the mood for another fantasy book, so I think maybe I want to try get a romance book, but it really will depend on the color. Let's do it. Let's spin the wheel. Let's see what we get. I'm a bit nervous. Black. Do you know what? That might be an okay one, but I'm like, I don't know if I have a romance book with a black cover. Oh, maybe Butcher and Blackbird, because I do have to read Leather and Lark this month, but I want to read this one because apparently you do get introduced to Leather and Lark characters in the epilogue, I believe, of this book, or maybe they're just interconnected standalone where they're all introduced throughout. That is an option. Or I do have Reckless. The only thing is I'm not in the mood. I need to take that sticker off, actually. I'm not in the mood for a fantasy book right now. I think I need a fun little romance book. I feel like I'm gonna have to go Butcher and Blackbird. I know this is purple, but the back is black, and I feel like I'm gonna classify that as a black cover. It's like the primary color on there, and it's the only romance book I have that's black. I'm gonna do it because it's gonna push me towards reading the second book for my TBR. Let's just choose it. So the second book for this video is Butcher and Blackbird by Bryn Weaver, and it is a rom-com between two serial killers, which I have never read anything like this. I'm very intrigued to see how it is. I do believe this is a spicier book, but I don't know how spicy it will be, so that really will determine how much I enjoy it. I've just really not been into spicy books at the moment. Yeah, I'm just hoping it'll be like a good romance, good plot, and then like maybe a side of spice. Very happy. I started Butcher and Blackbird last night. I got maybe 3 chapters in, and I'm really enjoying it so far. However, I am finding that the male main character is straight away acting like a savage man towards her. Like, he can't control his like need and want for her. But I'm also like trying to remember, like, this guy is a serial killer. Let's remember that, Tash. Like, he is not thinking like a normal human being. His like desires, they're just exaggerated more than the typical person. So I'm like, maybe this guy just has no self-control whatsoever. So I'm gonna take it in that way so that, you know, I don't start to hate the male main character for no reason. So I'm just gonna try keep that in mind. But I am about to go for a WALK. I can't say the word, but my dog is right next to me. Hi, honey. I love you. I want to start an audiobook, and I thought, how about I choose a book now, because I probably will finish Butcher and Blackbird by today, tomorrow, and then I can just update you guys with the audiobook I'm going to listen to on my walks. Because, you know, hot girl walks, I have to have an audiobook. But I just finished the other one, so I need a new one. And I know that I'm going to be reading 2 books at a time, but technically audiobook, it'll be a lot slower than reading the physical book. I have already started screen recording. I've realized I've been screen recording for quite a while. I'm kind of hoping I can get a book off my physical TBR. That would be really nice. I just hope I don't get green, because if I get green, that means I can't go leather and lark. So I'm hoping to get maybe orange or blue, because Priory of the Orange Tree is an option. If I get black again, I've got 2 options on my physical TBR, and blue I have Ghost Chilies, which is this one here. But besides that, if I don't get any of those colors, it is anything else off the TBR card, and it is free range. Let's go. Silver? Would you count this as silver? That has silver in the title. I don't think I've got an actual silver book. No. I feel like I might have to go Kingdom of Ash. That is the closest I would have to a silver, and I really want to read this. Yeah, I want to read this. It is going to be a scary read, and it probably will take me till the end of the week, but I need to start it. I need to finish this series. I'm petrified, but let's do it. It's technically black, but look, there is silver in the background and the text is silver, so I'm going to count this. It's as close as we're going to get to silver. I'm so excited. I haven't done an audiobook for this series yet, so this will be my first audiobook on the last book. I've got to chapter 13, which is page 155, and okay. I'm going to say my initial thoughts on this book, because I don't think I've actually given an update since I started it. I went straight into telling you guys that I was going to start an audiobook, which I'm not far into. But I am prioritizing this book today, and I'm going to finish it today. Here's the thing. I'm enjoying the concept. It is so different from any other book that I've read recently. I've not been actually reading a lot of romance, to be honest. I have, but I haven't. I enjoy a different concept of it not being Grumpy Sunshine. We're getting 2 serial killers who are about to have a romance together, which again, like, it is not the norm. These people are not normal people. It is messed up stuff happening. I haven't read like a dark romance in a long time, a proper dark romance, I would say. So this is just giving me like a reminiscent, like that reminiscent feeling of like the old nostalgic books that I used to read when I first started reading. I'm enjoying that. However, there is a few things that I think now, as like my reading taste has matured a little bit, every 3 seconds, at least maybe twice, possibly even 3 times sometimes, on one single page, she will blush, or he will blush, but she will blush and she'll have crimson cheeks. And firstly, number 1, she's mentioned that she wears makeup. Not all the time, but she does. You won't see that if she's wearing makeup. Secondly, like, mate, the only time I truly see someone blush that often is if they're very fair skinned, they've been exercising, number 1. Number 2, something really embarrassing's happened, or I don't know, sometimes my friends, when they're laughing a lot, they can actually have like really red rosy cheeks from laughing. Every time an author says in a book that the female is, you know, constantly blushing, I'm just like, oh, like, Can we just have something else? Can we have she breathed, she blinked? Like, I don't know if I'm just being really picky, but I think it's just because it's been so repetitive within like the first 100 pages, and I'm just like not even at a spicy scene yet, and I'm like, I can just guarantee you I know exactly what's going to come when that comes around. So I don't know how soon the spice is going to come, but it is a bit of a slow burn since we're already halfway through and nothing's happened like that. However, the male main character, Rowan, is just your typical man. Chapter 1, obsessed with her, thinking with his you know what, and making comments in his head about how he can't control himself around her. They are serial killers. Like, it's expected that they're not mentally there. So far he's been very consensual and keeping his thoughts to himself and not just outrightly being creepy. So that's a plus. The rom-com in this is rom-comming, but however, like, sometimes I am cringing. I don't know if that's just maybe the humor. Maybe don't like that sort of humor. There have been a couple times where I have been like, oh, that's funny, or not even like a funny moment. Sometimes I'll have like a giddy moment, like it's like a AO3 moment where you're like I've had a couple of them. So it is like hitting the spot here and there, and I am enjoying, well, like just having a romance book. Like, this was a well-needed break for me. I really am enjoying just like having a romance, fun, easy, just brain rot type of book. And we've also had some pretty cute moments where like he's basically stalking her from like outside her house, but he's getting these like grocery bags delivered to her house so that she can cook dinner, and then he'll be on the phone with her behind a tree a couple blocks down explaining her how to cook, because while he is a serial killer, he is technically a chef. So yeah, we are getting like some of those cute little moments where he's teaching her how to cook. But yeah, I'm gonna probably keep reading today, and I'll check in with you guys once I've read maybe till the end, maybe a bit more in, but I finished. Okay, today has been a long day reading this. Towards the end, it was very repetitive with the amount of spice that we had, and it sort of just fell off the momentum it was building, because it was building, it dropped off, and then it built up again because a little bit of action happened, and then it just dropped off and it lost my interest. I'm not really sure if that was the writing or if maybe it was because I wasn't feeling connected to the main characters that much. They weren't that fleshed out to me. I didn't really know anything about their past life. Like, we knew a lot about their relationship and them as like a dynamic together, but I didn't get to know the characters individually that well. I need to backtrack because I'm just jumping straight into my review and my thoughts, but I also need to explain a little bit about this book before I can really discuss why it wasn't fleshed out. Sloane and Rowan are serial killers. I mentioned that previously. So far what we've had is them meeting at like a sort of really serial killer meet cute kind of way. Then they organize to have a competition every year where they go and, you know, have like a Dexter style meetup. So they only unalive people who are either they're other serial killers or they're just bad in general people. That is like what they go do. They put on a hunt and they have like a competition to see who gets to that person first. Yeah, so we have like yearly gaps between like time jumps, and then all of a sudden they're obviously becoming closer. They're texting a lot, which I do obviously love, like the message trope. Then it like slowly builds up, and then they're seeing each other frequently, but they do live in different states. This is like where their lack of communication is from, like being able to see each other more often. Why did I explain that so weirdly? So we are getting to meet Sloane separately as a character while she's obviously living away from Rowan, and then Rowan again and like his family of brothers who also sort of do similar jobs to this. But we don't really get much background into Sloane. Mentions a few things here and there, but we don't actually get to find out much about her past. So I do wish we had that and more, just more of them as individuals. I really enjoyed the restaurant section. I enjoyed just like the small little things that they were obviously doing that were like the romance part, but the plot towards the end, I think it was a little bit predictable to me with the plot twist that happened. I did think, I was like, you know, that person's like, you know, not right. I wasn't impressed in the way that everyone else has made this book to be like such a book talk book. And then when it got to the spicy scenes, yeah, they were very, you know, the spice was spicy. When the spice sometimes is overly descriptive from the male main character's side, I zone out. I can't read that anymore. I'm just like, it's too much for me. I think maybe that sort of distracted me from the rest of the story once the spice like really kicked in. But yeah, I think I'm gonna give this a 3-star rating. That's my thoughts and where I'm sitting at right now. I was thinking 3.5 until the ending, and that sort of solidified that it was not quite there yet. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with a 3. I'll give you guys a bit of an update of what's happening with Kingdom of Ash, because I have been listening to this on audiobook as of yesterday and today. I'm at chapter 12 12, page 117. Literally 10% into this book, like I'm not even far. Listening to the audiobook was probably one of the best decisions I've made for this book, because it's made me realize how many things I was pronouncing wrong because I was just reading the book and trying to pronounce them myself. So many of the cities, no, I got them completely wrong. I got Adelan, that's pretty easy to understand. Ilwi, I was pronouncing that so wrong. I think it's a lie. I think that's how they were saying it in the audiobook from my memory. Morath was pretty easy. Rifthold, like those were pretty easy ones. Now moving on to things I was saying wrong. I'm pretty sure I was saying Blag and it's Valg. Just, you know, swapping letters around. Read the words, Tash, like that would be very helpful for you to pronounce things. Aedeon I got right. I think that's pretty easy. Lysandra, pretty easy as well. Who else did I get wrong? Allied. I think I got that right. Allied, yeah, no, I got that right. Rowan, Aelin. So I'm very happy to have the audiobook so I know that I'm actually pronouncing things correctly when I speak to you guys in my reviews. I'm so sorry if you can hear the construction of people just doing stuff outside. It is literally like 6:30, 7 o'clock at night and they're just throwing things into a big bin. I don't understand. So far, I'm enjoying it. Obviously, just being back in the world. It is picking up a little bit now. It was just sort of giving like an update since the last book and going into like where they are sort of thing and what's been happening like the last, I think it's 4 months since the end of the tandem read, I believe. I am nervous for like when the trauma hits because I don't want to be reading it while I'm out and about and then suddenly like I'm bawling my eyes out in the middle of the street. I want to be able to film my reaction. With this book, over the next like, you know, few hundred pages, I will be sharing a lot more of my reactions compared to the other ones where I've just sort of given you updates as I go. I'll check in with you once I've got something. I love her with my whole entire heart. I am just rooting for her. I want the best for her. I want her to be just bigger and better than what she is, and she's finally got what she deserves at page 480. She is being recognized for the good. I love her. I am scared though. I feel like I'm at that turning point now where I'm like, I'm halfway. I'm halfway and I'm scared. I'm so excited for this book. Like, it's just been absolutely perfection already. 500 pages in. I'm literally at the edge of my seat. I went out today, couldn't think about anything else but getting home and reading this. I've got like maybe 8.5 hours of my audiobook left, so I'm gonna try and get maybe the next 3.5 to 4 hours done before I go to sleep, hopefully, and then I'll just have 5 hours left tomorrow. If I hit a really like dramatic part of the story before I go to bed, I'm going to need to stay up. Like, there is no saving me. I will be up till midnight, possibly 3 in the morning. I haven't done that in a long time, and I have that feeling with this book, like I don't think I'll be able to stop. So there's that. What is going on? I'm stressed. Oh my god, no. Fenris, that's so sad. That horse better be fast. Get up. Swing that leg. Holy shit, this is scary. Holy shit. No, that is not the only way. What? Oh my god. Yes, Aelin. Yes. Holy shit. Holy shit. Shit. Not Rowan. She's always 3 steps ahead. I'm so scared. Just got to chapter 88. Dorian, he's saving the day. I'm also worried for Aiden. I'm so worried. What is happening with Manon? Kale and Dorian reunion. Not the mating bond. His father? No. You need to leave. What? Oh my god, Nameless is my price. I don't trust him. Are we meant to believe this guy? What? She did not. Oh my god. Oh, shit. I just got to chapter 106. The final battle of all the battles is about to happen. Everyone's just got there. I'm worried. I need to have a break from the audiobook and go have a shower and just refresh so I can have like the next 2 hours of audiobook dedicated to sobbing. I'll be back. I think something's about to happen and I'm scared. I've said this like probably 30 times from about that far into it. What chapter am I? I'm at chapter 112, page 894. This isn't a dream. My heart rate. She's so sneaky. These fucking blotters. Yes. Go, Fenris. I can't keep reading. This is stressing me out. The healers can do what? Yes, Dorian. Yes, Dorian is just... Dorian's above everyone else. He's always 3 steps ahead. Chapter 114. She is what? She is what? I've just read the first sentence and I can't. What? I'm so confused. I'm so confused. That's it. There's a false alarm. It's okay. I think the last time I saw you in my vlog was me finishing Kingdom of Ash, crying. I was not in a good state, but that's fine. I'm here now. I'm looking more put together, more presentable for the vlogs. And we can go through my final thoughts for Kingdom of Ash, which I think my reactions explain exactly how I felt. I don't think I need to describe that too much. Obviously, I can't explain any of the plot because this is the final book in the entire Throne of Glass series. We all know that. What a ride this whole series has been. It is technically 1 week since I had last spoken with you. I've had some time to reflect on this series as a whole, and I think what I'm going to miss the most is probably just being part of this little friendship, the little found family that they've made together. I thoroughly enjoyed all the characters, their relationships, and just how far that they had all come over the years. I'm so glad that I actually stretched out the series and I didn't finish it and consume it all within like 1 month. That would have probably not been the best thing for me. I think this was definitely what was needed for me, which spacing out the books made the story more impactful because I didn't consume it all at once and then forget certain things. I was sort of taking my time, getting to know all the characters, getting to know the world, and also just having a break between, which I think is well needed sometimes when you're reading such a very large fantasy series. I do think I'm going to give this 5 stars. It's a week later and my thoughts haven't changed. I think this is the best book in the series. I still want to think on that a bit more, but I do think that this is definitely the best book out of the entire series. Which is kind of crazy because usually I feel with a series, it's sometimes the first or second book that is the hit and then it just goes downhill from there. So the fact that the first few books were the ones where I was like, I'm not really feeling this, but still also knowing that that's Sarah J Maas's like first ever book she's written, and pushing through and then seeing the progression and like how the story unfolds. You can tell how much her writing had matured and also how much it had grown since she had started the series. From start to finish, Kingdom of Ash, the entire thing was so captivating. Couldn't put it down. Every chapter, it would end on like a cliffhanger. That's the best way to do it because it keeps you hooked. You're like, oh, now I have to read 5 more chapters just to figure out what's happened to the other person. Yeah, I really thoroughly enjoyed this book and I'm definitely going to miss this series. I've already started collecting the other original alternate covers, which are the white ones, I believe, here in the UK. That's the original covers here. I've got most of them. I've now just got Assassin's Blade is on its way in the post. I had found that really cheap on Vinted, and I've just got to get the final book now. That is Tower of Dawn. It is the hardest one to find. All the ones I'm finding online are either really bad, just general all-round condition, or the prices are ridiculous. So yeah, definitely 5 stars. I can't recommend this series enough. It is just so good. Probably, I'm not really sure where it stands against ACOTAR yet. I read that maybe like 4 years ago. I would say maybe 3.5 years ago. I just don't know where I sit with that now with this series because it's just been so long. And I don't know if I'm going to start Crescent City this year or if I'll wait till next year. But I have also heard bad things about Crescent City, so that's another thing in itself. But let's go through the other books. So Foul Lady Fortune was the first book I read in this vlog, and I'm sticking with my same rating. Highly enjoyed this series. Will be buying the second book in the series and also the novella, so I will also be getting that. And staying with the same rating for Butcher and Blackbird, 3 stars. I liked it but didn't love it. Some things didn't work for me, some things did. So yeah, I'm sitting on the fence with how I feel about it, but I still enjoyed it. So I can't say that it was like a terrible book. There was just obviously some cringy things that didn't sit right with me. That's all 3 books that I've read for the vlog. I think I've done really well. Like, that is a lot of pages to finish in 1 week. I'm very proud of myself. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this idea. I did get it from a few different YouTubers that I had seen around on YouTube, which I'll post on the screen here. They're the ones that I've watched myself and got the idea for this vlog from. Yeah, I'm trying to make sure that I'm keeping the vlogs interesting and fun and having all these new ideas. So if you do have any ideas of different types of videos for me to film, please comment them down below and I can definitely try and film them for you. I'm gonna try finish up the vlog here, try get ready to go out for the day and go do my food shopping. So I will love you and leave you here. I appreciate you so much and thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you guys in my next one. Love you.